Dan Quinn, head coach of the Commanders, showed up to talk to the media this past weekend during rookie minicamp, and people noticed that it was a little interesting. He had on a shirt that had the Washington Commanders W, but he had some feathers coming off the W that looked very similar to the feathers that came off the logo of the previous team name a couple of times before that LaVar Arrington played for. Now,
what a statement.
Yeah. And some people wondered, like, why would he have done that? Now, the team came out and said they had no comment on it. They didn't know anything about it. And so Dan Quinn was asked about the T-shirt yesterday by the media, and he had this to say.
I think one of the parts of me, taking this job, I was excited to bridge, the past and the present, and what a cool, privilege that is to do. And I also recognized there's a lot of layers to that. So it was a great lesson for me. And what I really hate is that any attention that would have been taken away from these rookies and like this awesome crew. So, no one wants to do that, but great lesson.
No, the problem is that Washington media are a bunch of douchebags.
Damn.
Like, that's the problem. Like, it should be a non-story. It should be a non-story. Like, what's the problem with having the old logo feather hanging from or being hanging wouldn't be the right word. Being on the W. Like, that's just, to me, it's just that's dumb. Anybody who wrote about that or reported about that, and let me take that back. I don't think all media there are douchebags, but some of them are. I mean,
you're taking a lot of stuff back today.
I was a media guy there.
Yeah, on that douchebag dip.
There was some douchebags though. There were a few. I think it should have been a non-story. It really should have. And I think that what he said was right. Why not link? I've never played for the Commanders. The Commanders never paid me. It's so interesting. Me and D Green just connected on social media. And D Green, we don't hear this story. D Green's on his IG, and he posted a picture of him with a Washington Redskins
gosh,
with a polo on. And he said, he was like, I missed this apparel. He was like, is there anywhere where I can get some Redskins swag? Oh. That's who we played for. Like, so to me, I don't know. I just think that where we're at now, like, if that's the worst of your problems today, that a team that was once named the Washington Redskins that is now deemed to be inappropriate, if that is the biggest problem you have going on in your life today, you're doing pretty doggone good in life. Things are not too bad for you, is what I would say. Again, I played there, and I was there through, when they talk about the protesters and all that stuff. Listen, you'd see like 3 or 4 people that were there that were protesting. I was there. Like, this is not hypothetically speaking. The people that were outraged, it's like 3 or 4 white people that were there. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
It wasn't no Indians there sitting in, making sure we couldn't get off of the bus or anything like that. It was like 3 white people there that were saying, this is wrong. This is wrong. Change the name. Every time. And if I wasn't mistaken, it might have been the same ones. It might have been the same 3 or 4 people at every event.
Yeah.
To me, you're looking for attention. Like, go somewhere and hug a tree. Like, go do something with yourself. If this is what you got going on right now in your life and you have the time to do it, God bless. But coming at that man, like this team, this organization is actually trying to go in the right direction. You know what this story says to me? You're trying to keep them where they were at. Whoever's talking about this and writing about this, you're trying to continue to be divisive. And I've always said there's always this undertone element, because we're in the nation's capital, that our media handles our teams like politics.
Yeah.
Like, let this organization come together. Dan Quinn, that was a nice act of solidarity. Like, you know how many people have been disconnected from that organization, me included? You make a subtlety of oh, look, he's representing us. Is that wrong? Screw you. If you think that's wrong, go kick a rock. I thought it was a dope deed. I thought it was a dope thing for him to do that. I supported it. I thought it was pretty. And I haven't even been – I've been estranged for a long time from that organization. For a long time. Never stopped loving the people. Never stopped loving the team. But if you ask me, was this wrong to make this into a story? Hell yes. Hell yes.
I got a theory.
By the way, LaVar, well said, man.
Thank you.
Well said.
Thank you.
And
real quick, it's a unique perspective because not many people realize that, like, that is your tie, that is your attachment to the team, and regardless of how they feel, that's your feelings on it. That's your opinion on it. And there's not enough people who are able to communicate that and say, like, hey, man, like, this is the team we identified with. This is how it was. Is there a lawsuit, by the way? Isn't one of the tribes suing the team for not using the old team name?
There's all kinds of it. But
like,
yes, that is true. Yes.
You know what you said also that I do get a kick out of is, like, the people that were protesting is 3 white people. It's like there's like a lot of things to where people who shouldn't be outraged are the ones with the loudest voices saying that they're outraged. Like, there's a lot of times that happens, and we kind of let them steer the ship towards the narrative of whatever anybody else is trying to get out there, whatever agenda is being pushed. So
yeah, man, I just, you sit there and you got guys that have, like, Monty Coleman or Doc Walker or Brian Mitchell and Art Monk, like, you name it, Wilbur Marshall, Dexter Manley, Charles Mann, like, you got all these guys that are proud, prideful alumni.
James
like,
Thrash.
Yeah, Gary Clark. These guys are staples in our community. And here's a big thing. You're talking about a fan base that only has known success and love for their team when they were not the Commanders. They were the Washington Redskins. And so if that man is sitting there trying to bridge the gap of the past to now and the present, then that's a good start, because there is a total disconnect that took place when Dan Snyder took that team over. A total disconnect of years upon years upon years where there was a disconnect between the team, the franchise, and the community. So that man came in there and he showed an act that said, look, I understand where this team and this franchise, this proud franchise once was. I want to connect to the players, the alumni. I want to connect to our community and to our fans. And you want to open it up to a decentralized fan base now and try to rebuild it. And that's a subtle move on your behalf. Hey, Dan Quinn, I got your back, bro. Do your thing. Do your thing. Because that by no means makes you wrong. And talking about a value, you want to know the valuable lesson? You're going to be covered like you're the governor or like you're the president, like you're the secretary of defense. Like, that's how they're going to cover you.
I also find it hard to believe that he would just go rogue, and just because apparently this was like a non-team issued shirt or whatnot. It's like Dan Quinn's gonna take a shirt that somebody's selling out of a cardboard box out in front of the facility and be like, yeah, I'll just wear this one today. I think somebody
apologize for that.
Listen, I think this was kind of like a heat check. Like, yeah, let's see what the reaction is. Because you see how teams are going throwback unis all the time now. Like, it seems like every team has a throwback day. And I
can't do that in DC.
No, like, and I wonder if I wonder if they were like, well, let's see how this would go if we kind of, threw this out there. And of course he got pushed back and then had to come back out afterwards and apologize.